Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we have a huge mess to clean. Like, I can't even explain to you how messy my house is. And we have a lot of work to do. So the situation is, I ended up losing part of my tripod, and so I basically had to tear my house apart. It was already messy to begin with, which was why I was going to film the video, but I had to tear my house apart in order to find this, and I finally found it behind the couch because Holden has been like throwing things behind the couch lately. So I just left it a huge mess. We're gonna clean behind the couch. We're gonna clean up the huge mess. Like, it's absolutely insane. So that's on our agenda for today. It's going to be a big ultimate clean with me, and I really have a lot of motivation for you guys in this video. And I also want to mention that today's video is going to be in collaboration with a YouTube friend of mine, Anita from Anita at Home, and I absolutely love Anita's channel. She is so sweet. When you guys go over to her channel, you are going to see, like, even just her voice, she just has the sweetest voice. She sounds like the nicest person in the whole world. She is a stay-at-home mama to 2 boys. She's got 2 doggos, and she loves doing cleaning videos. So she has a ton of cleaning inspiration over on her channel. I found her about 2 weeks ago, and I just started binge watching all of her videos, and I was hooked. And there's not that many channels that I binge watch like that, but she's definitely one of them. So make sure you go over and check her out. Tell her I sent you, and I will have her linked in the description box below. And if you guys are coming over here from Anita's channel, I would absolutely love it if you would hang around and click that subscribe button and subscribe to my channel. I do a ton of cleaning motivation videos. I also do like some routines, like pamper routines. I talk about the law of attraction sometimes. I just have like a ton of awesome content here, I'm not gonna lie. And I would really, really love it if you would stick around and hang out with us. But without further ado, let's just get right on into cleaning this insane house of mine. Okay, you guys, so as you can see, I was definitely not lying when I said that my house was an insane disaster. Like, look at this place, you guys. I mean, it was already a huge mess with all these toys on the floor, but once I had to go ahead and start finding that little piece, it was game over. We're also going to tackle these windows here today while I have everything moved away from the window because they're pretty disgusting, pretty dirty. I have not cleaned them yet from spring. So we're going to go ahead and tackle that as well. There's dishes in here. We've been eating in here. There is just so much going on in this room. And normally my house does not get like this, but like I said, once I had to find that piece for my camera, I was just like moving furniture, and it just got out of hand really, really quick. So we have some stuff in the dining room that needs to go back. I've got about 3 loads of laundry that needs to be folded. We're gonna have some laundry motivation here. I've got all this craft stuff out in the kitchen. There's probably about 2 meals worth of dishes here that I have not cared to do or put away. So there's a ton for you guys to get motivated by in this video, and we're going to go ahead and start in the living room. So I had asked my boyfriend to just keep Holden kind of like away from me while I did this, because when the room is this crazy messy, I just need to focus on it and not worry about what he's doing. And sometimes like he's just like so eager, and he just kind of like gets in the way a little bit. So I needed just to be able to do this by myself, and we're going to start by cleaning up all the toys. I'm just going to put everything back into his toy bins, and he had some of his toys out from his bedroom as well, so I'll be taking some of them back to his room. But we're going to start by picking up all these toys so that I at least have like somewhat of a clean floor, and then I can go ahead and vacuum and do all the furniture and kind of put everything back into its place the way that it's supposed to be. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of vacuum in between the spots that are clean. Like there's still toys on the floor, there's still stuff around, but I'm just going to try to vacuum kind of as I go and move pieces of the couch back into place as I go, if that makes sense, because it's just like it's becoming a lot. It was very overwhelming with my living room in this state. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and take care of the windows. So I'm just popping the screens out here, and I'm just going to wipe them down with Windex and a rag, and I'm really going to pay attention and get into those grooves of the window casings, because those get really, really dirty and like moldy over the winter months, because all of like the heat comes up from between. I have some heat vents in between the curtains and the window, and so like it gets like really moist when I have the curtains closed. Why can't I talk today? When I have the curtains closed, it gets really moist in there because the air like just like floats up and then against the cold on the outside. I hope I'm making sense, but anyways, gets lots of condensation on there, and it just gets moldy, it gets yucky. So I was really, really happy that I was able to take care of that today, and I'm glad that I noticed it. And now we're going to go ahead and just move the couch back. We're starting to get some resemblance of a living room, so that makes me really happy, and it's starting to look a lot better.
Could be the heartbeat in your head. I could try to elevate you, put your bad memories to bed. I could be the unsung hero. I could lay the world at your feet. Baby, if you lean on me, I'll hold you up.
So this was about as long as he was able to keep Holden away from me. He was just like raring to see what I'm doing. He's always so interested in what's going on, but this is the thing, is he just wants to be jumping around and just kind of in the way and trying to spray the Windex. But like, my goodness, look at how cute he is.
Take everything we got, give it an honest shot, turning it on and off, we've been sliding, riding the highest dream.
So after I put away all of our throws, it is time for me to start spraying down these tables. So they would get pretty gross because sometimes we eat in here, like I said. So I'm just using my Miss Myers all-purpose spray, and I'm spraying down all the surfaces. I'm just going to wipe that off so that we have nice, fresh, clean surfaces.
Over the
Okay, and the last task for this room is of course going to be the vacuuming, and this is always like the most satisfying part for me, is seeing the vacuum lines and just like knowing that that's the last task that you have to do before you get to move on to the next room. So this is pretty much how it all turned out. Everything is finally all put back together. It actually didn't take me as long as I thought it was going to. When I first started out, I was very, very overwhelmed, but if you just kind of like concentrate on one task at a time and just focus on that, like I said in the beginning, I was just going to start out by picking up the toy, so I just focused on that and kind of like do it in chunks. It ends up becoming a lot more manageable, so that's definitely my tip for you guys. So next we are going to move on into the laundry. Like I said, I had about 3 loads of laundry here, so I'm just going to be folding some laundry. And while we are doing that, I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys about how everyone is doing and how things are going. Are you guys still self-isolating? We are. My boyfriend was able to take off he was off for about a month. He switched over his vacation. He had vacation coming up in December, but he switched it over so that we could kind of like self-isolate during this time, especially because I had just closed the daycare, so we were able to truly self-isolate with neither of us going to work for just over a month. It was about 5 weeks, so that was really, really good. But as I'm recording this video, or as I'm recording this voiceover, he does have to go to work tomorrow, so probably when you guys are seeing this, he will be at work. So that will be different for sure, because I kind of gotten used to having him home. For those of you that don't know, my boyfriend is a railroader, so he kind of comes and goes at crazy hours and doesn't really have a set schedule, and just it's almost, the way that I explain it to people is that he's pretty much on call all the time. Like he can kind of gauge when it looks like he's about to go to work, but can kind of change at any minute. So our schedule is really unpredictable with his work. So it was kind of nice to just have him home for a while. And usually when he's gone from between 24 to 48 hours, and then he'll be home for who knows how long. Sometimes it's 1 day, sometimes it's 3 days. It just kind of depends. But yeah, so he's going to be going back to work. So it's just going to be a whole new adjustment of just Holden and I by ourselves without our daycare here. Like Holden already really misses his friends. So it's been kind of hard, like trying to keep him entertained without any friends, and now it's going to be just me. So at least before, like if I was like hitting a wall, I could be like, okay, can you take him for a couple hours? Like the same thing with him to me. So we kind of like bounced back and played off of each other. But now it's just going to be me at home with him all day. So I am going to be going back to being a stay-at-home mom, which I was for the first 2 years of his life. I actually just started my daycare last summer, so it was just coming up on a year that I was open. So now I'm going to be closed indefinitely due to this whole situation. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below. Are you guys working? Like, what's going on? Are you essential services? Where do you guys work? What do you do? Have you been impacted with this? Let me know in the comments down below. And I hope that you guys are all staying safe and definitely taking this seriously, all that stuff.
I got up on an early Sunday morning to say goodbye.
Okay, now that I am finally done with laundry, I'm going to just pick up all this stuff off the floor. Most of this stuff was dirty clothes that had to go in the dirty basket. And then I had a bunch of stuff that just needs to go downstairs. So I'm just going to take that stuff down quickly, get that kind of like out of the way, and then we can move on into the kitchen. I think I am going to actually vacuum in here first, and then we'll move on into the kitchen. Okay, so now we're moving on into the kitchen, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to pile up all of the dirty dishes into the sink so that I get myself a little bit of counter space. And that's basically what I'm focusing on for now, is just getting myself some counter space. I have all of these arts and crafts supplies and all this stuff that need to go as well. So I'm going to be moving anything that doesn't belong into the kitchen into its respective homes and just clearing off that counter before I tackle the dishes. Okay, now that I actually have counter space to work with, I'm going to go ahead and start unloading the dishwasher because of course it was full. So I'm going to unload that, put all those dishes away, and then I can start putting in all of the dishes back into the dishwasher, and anything that's left over that I can't fit in there, I'm going to be hand washing. So while I was putting away the dishes, as you can see, this cabinet was insane. It had just gotten, like, I just started throwing stuff in there, and this is my Tupperware cabinet, as you guys can tell. So I decided to kind of just rearrange it a little bit and just kind of put everything where it needs to go. So it's still full and it's still a mess, but it's better than it was until I get the opportunity to do an actual, like, deep clean and declutter of my kitchen, which needs to happen soon.
On my own, I am strong, I am written down the words to say. It is time. I've been waiting 5 days to explain how you make me feel inside. Baby, got it all figured out. Wanna do this right. There's no doubt in my mind. Baby, you're the one. And tonight I am going all the way. But when you touch my hand, it all goes away. The things I planned, the things I would say. Now I keep rambling on. I sound so cliche. What I am trying to do is say I love you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And all the things that you do. Ooh, ooh. Sounds like a fool 'cause when you touch.
And now for the most satisfying portion of the video is the hand washing and the cleaning out of the sink. I think everybody who watches these videos really enjoys this part, so I've been always trying to keep them in as often as I can because I know so many people enjoy watching these, and so do I.
Out is because you're not worth less than perfection. Ooh, thought it was in my hands. Now I'm all confused, turning gold into sand. Don't know what you do to me. All I know is you can take my breath away. Yeah, 'cause when you touch my hand, it all goes away. The things I planned, the things I would say. Now I keep rambling on. I sound so cliche. What I am trying to do is say I love you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And all the things that you do. Ooh, ooh. Sounds like a fool 'cause when you touch my hand, the words goes away. What I am trying to do is let you know that when you touch my hand, it all just goes away. The things I plan to say. Oh baby, what I am trying to do is let you know that when you touch my hand, it all goes away. The things I plan, the things I would say. Now I keep rambling on. I sound so cliche. What I am trying to do is say I love you. And all the things that you do. I'm so in love with you. Ooh, ooh. It sounds so stupid now. What I am trying to do, what I am trying to do, what I am trying to do is say I love you.
All right, guys, we are done with the kitchen, and I'm so happy with how everything turned out. I've got clean counters. I've got supper in the crock pot. We were having ribs that day, and I'm very happy with how this all turned out. So now we are going to go and we're going to move on into the master bedroom, which is going to be our last cleaning spot of the day. And there was not a whole lot that I needed to get done in here, but I definitely needed to make the bed and just tidy up a little bit. But first of all, Holden and I had a little bit of playing time. He had gotten this balloon, and what we've been doing in our town, my sister-in-law has actually been organizing this, is they've been doing kind of like drive-by car parades for kids that are having birthdays, because of course nobody can have birthday parties now. So we had participated in one of these little parades that morning, and they had handed out balloons for everybody to have like on their cars. So we got a balloon and he was obsessed with it. And funny story about that in the middle of the night. So that balloon ended up staying in our room, and we sleep with a ceiling fan on. And all of a sudden in the middle of the night at like 3 o'clock in the morning, we got woken up to this horrifying noise. And the balloon had somehow gotten pulled into the fan, and it was like hitting the fan, and it was like the most terrifying noise to wake up to in the middle of the night ever.
You smile, I know I am what you need, and boy, you're just my type. Deep down, I know you want it. You wanna take a leap and jump in. Oh, we're gonna fall in love. You get me spinning, wouldn't it be awesome if you just kiss me slowly and had me in your arms? Oh, you make me up, hey, lights go out when I see you moving up, hey, light me up. I love when you grow like that. Oh, hey, could be us kissing in the moonlight. Oh,
So right now I'm just removing our humidifier. I actually kept meaning to do this for weeks because we haven't used it in a couple of weeks for sure. Actually, probably like 6 weeks we haven't used it, and I kept being like, okay, I need to get rid of that, and I just never did. So I wanted to go ahead and take that out of there, and I'm just wiping down all the surfaces, and then we're going to go through with the vacuum.
Well, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really hope that I inspired you to get some cleaning done. I am so happy that my house is finally clean because, I mean, you guys saw the mess. Anyways, make sure you go over and check out Anita's channel. Tell her that I sent you, and I hope you guys are having an awesome day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know.